I was 5 when they left, a small bundle of hate on Ambuya Tariro's doorstep, with nothing but a note that said, "We can't keep here. My name is Chipo and I come from Bulawayo, a city of wide streets and whispering winds." I don't remember much about my parents, only flashes. My mother's soft voice singing me to sleep, my father's rough hands lifting me high. Then one night they were gone. I woke up on Ambuya Tariro's doorstep in a small house in Mzilikazi, shivering in the dark. The note pinned to my dress was all they left. Ambuya found me at dawn, her old eyes wide with shock. She pulled me into her arms, and I felt her heart beating fast, like it might break. Ambuya Tariro was kind but poor. Her house was one room, a tin roof and a small stove. She sold vegetables at the market in Renkini to feed us. I helped her carry baskets of tomatoes and onions. My small hands red from the weight, but I was always hungry, not just for food, but for answers. Why did they leave me? Did I do something wrong? At night I would lie on the thin mat beside Ambuya and cry quietly so that she wouldn't hear. The pain sat heavy in my chest, like a stone I couldn't move. In Mzilikazi, everyone knew everyone. Neighbors like Tete Miriam and Baba Tinashe would give me sad looks. "Poor Chipo," they would whisper, thinking I didn't hear. At school in St. Patrick's, the other children were not kind. "Your parents didn't want you," said Rulo, a girl with sharp eyes. I would run to the baobab tree behind the school and hide, my tears soaking the dirt. I felt like I didn't belong anywhere, like I was a shadow no one saw. Ambuya tried to fill the hole my parents left. She would tell me stories of great Zimbabwe, of the kings, her voice soft like a lullaby. "You are strong, Chipo," she would say. "You are enough." But I didn't believe her. I would stare at the stars through the window, wondering if my parents were in Harare or Mutare, living a life without me. Did they ever think of me? Did they know I was breaking? One day when I was 11, a letter came. It was from my mother, Nyasha, sent from Chitungwiza. My hands shook as Ambuya read it aloud. "I am sorry, Chipo," it said. "Life was too hard. We had no money, no food. We thought you would be better with Tariro." That was it. No promise to come back. No love. I tore the letter and screamed until my throat hurt. Ambuya held me, but I pushed her away. I hated my parents. I hated myself for still wanting them. Time passed, but the pain stayed. I grew up, but I carried that little girl's head. Ambuya got sick when I was 10. Her coughs shaking the house. I would fetch water from the borehole and cook sadza, but I couldn't save her. When she died, I was alone again. Tete Miriam took me in, but it wasn't the same. I felt like a leaf blown by the wind, with no roots to hold me. Now I am older, but I still wonder why my parents left me. Was I not enough? The pain is quieter now, but it's there, like a scar. I walk the streets of Bulawayo, past the market where Ambuya sold her vegetables, and I try to be strong like she said. But some days, I'm just that little girl on the doorstep, waiting for someone who never came back. I am Chipo, still walking the dusty roads of Bulawayo, carrying the weight of that little girl left on Ambuya Tariro's doorstep. The years have piled on, and I'm no longer the small, shivering girl pinned with a knot that broke my world. But the scar of being abandoned by my parents, Nyasha and Tendai, never fully fades. It's like a crack in the earth, hidden under grass, but always there. After Ambuya died, Tete Miriam's home in Mzilikazi became my shelter. She was kind, with a loud laugh and hands that braided my hair tight. But her house was full, 3 children and a nephew, and not enough food. I was grateful, but I felt like a guest who stayed too long. At St. Patrick's Primary, I kept my head down, ignoring Rudo's towns. Orphan girl, she would yes. I stopped running to the baobab tree to cry. Instead, I studied hard, clutching my pencil like it could write me a new life. Ambuya's words echoed, "You are strong, Chipo." I wanted to believe ye. When I was 13, Babati Nashe, the neighbor who always fixed bicycles, told me about a program in Bulawayo for children like me, ones with no parents or home. It was run by a woman named Sister Grace from a church near Egodini. I was scared to go, but Tete Miriam pushed me. "You need this, Chipo," she said. At the program, I met other children. Musa, whose parents died in a car crash on the Harare Road, and Shuwai, left by her mother in Uganda. Their eyes held the same hate as mine. Sister Grace gave us food, clothes, and books, but more than that, she gave us a place to talk. For the first time, I said out loud how much I hated my parents for leaving me. The words burned, but they also set something free. I started to dream again. I wanted to be a nurse, to help people like Ambuya when she was sick. Sister Grace helped me to get a scholarship to a secondary school. It wasn't easy. I walked miles to save bus fare, and some nights I studied by candlelight when Tete Miriam's electricity was out. But I passed my O-levels, then my A-levels. Each grade was a brick, building a wall between me and that doorstep. Now at 20, I'm training at Mpilo Hospital to be a nurse. The wards are busy, full of coughing babies and tired mothers. But I love it. When I wrap a bandage or hold a patient's hand, I feel like I am healing a small piece of myself. I still live in Mzilikazi, in a rented room near Tete Miriam's. The streets are the same, but I am different. I have learned to carry my pain without letting it crush me. Sometimes I hear whispers about my parents. Someone said Nyasha is in Chitumbwiza, selling clothes at a market. Tendai might be in South Africa, or maybe he is gone. I don't look for them anymore. The little girl in me still asks why they left, but the woman I am knows their reasons won't fix the hurt. I have built a life with help from Ambuya's love, Tete Miriam's kindness, and Sister Grace's faith in me. I pass Ambuya's old house sometimes, now empty, the tin roof rusted. I don't cry anymore. I stand there and I thank her silently for picking me up that cold morning. I am not just the girl they left behind. I am Chipo who kept going. I am Chipo, now 25, still in Bulawayo, where the sun burns hot and the streets hum with life. The little girl left on Ambuya Tariro's doorsteps in Mzilikazi feels like a distant memory, but she is still part of me, tucked away like a faded photo. I am a nurse now, working full-time at Mpilo Hospital. My white uniform, crisp against the chaos of the wards. The pain of being abandoned by my parents, Nyasha and Tendai, hasn't vanished, but I have learned to live with it, like a limp you get used to. Life after nursing school wasn't easy. Mpilo hired me, but the pay is small and the hours are long. I would come home to my one-room rental house near Tete Miriam's, feet aching, and cook sadza on a single stove. Still, I felt proud. Every child I vaccinated, every fever I cooled was a step towards the dream I had held since I was 13. Inspired by Sister Chipo's program near Egodini, I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was building something. One day, while cleaning a wound in the pediatric ward, I met a girl named Tadiwa. She was 6, with big eyes and a cough that couldn't stop. Her mother had left her at the hospital, promising to return, but never did. Tadiwa clung to my hand, her small fingers tight, and I saw myself in her. The same lost look, the same silent question. Why didn't they want me? I stayed past my shift, reading her stories and promising to check on her. When she was discharged to an orphanage in Pumula, I visited when I could, bringing sweets or a second-hand book. Helping Tadiwa felt like bandaging my own old wounds. Last year, something unexpected happened. I was at Renkini Market buying tomatoes when a woman called my name. I turned and saw a face I barely recognized. Nyasha, my mother. She was thin, her hair graying, her eyes tired. Chipo, she said, voice shaking. It's you. My heart stopped. I wanted to run, to scream, but I stood frozen. She said she had been in Chitungwiza struggling and heard I was a nurse. I'm sorry, she whispered, tears falling. We had nothing. I didn't cry. I didn't hug her. I just looked at her, the woman who left me with a note and a lifetime of questions. I am fine now, I said, my voice steady. I made it without you. She nodded, like she understood, and walked away. I stood there, the market noise fading, feeling both heavy and light. I didn't need her anymore, but the little girl in me wished she had said more. That moment changed me. I stopped wondering why they left. I joined a group at Sister Grace's church, mentoring children like Taliwa, kids abandoned or orphaned, carrying heads too big for their little hearts. I tell them my story, not to make them sad, but to show them they can keep going. You are enough, I said, echoing Ambuya's words. Some believe me, some don't, but I keep trying. I have saved enough to rent a small house in Kulumane with a tiny garden where I grow spinach. Tete Miriam visits, her laugh still loud, and we talk about Ambuya and the old days. I'm not rich, and life is still hard. Power cuts, long shifts, rising prices. But I'm rooted now, like the Msasa trees that line Bulawayo streets. I have found my place, not as the little girl left behind, but as Chipo, the woman who chose to grow. I am Chipo, 30 now, standing taller than I ever thought I could in the heart of Bulawayo, where the jacaranda trees bloom purple and the air carries the hum of a city that never stops moving. The memory of being left on Ambuya Tariro's doorstep in Mzilikazi at 5 years old is like an old song, familiar but no longer allowed to drown out my life. My parents Nyasha and Tendai abandoned me with a note and a wound that took years to scar over. But I have built a world of my own, brick by brick. And I'm not the shivering girl anymore. I am a nurse, a mentor, a woman with roots in this Zimbabwean soil, and my story is far from over. Life at Mpilo Hospital keeps me busy. The wards are always full. Mothers with feverish babies, old men with coughs that rattle their bones, young boys with broken arms from playing too rough in Luveve. I am a senior nurse now, trusted to train new staff and handle emergencies. Last week, I stayed up all night with a girl named Romizai, barely 10, who came in with burns from a paraffin stove. Her auntie was too drunk to care, and I held her hand as she cried, promising her the pain would ease. It's moments like this that remind me why I fought so hard to become a nurse. Every patient I help feels like a small victory over the hurt my parents left behind. I still mentor children at Sister Grace's program near Egodini, which has grown into a proper community center called Hope House. It's a safe place for kids like Tadiwa, the girl I met years ago in the pediatric ward, abandoned by her mother. Tadiwa is 16 now, a girl with a laugh that lights up the room. She wants to be a teacher, and I'm helping her apply for a scholarship to a college in Harare. Mentoring kids, some orphaned, some abandoned, some just lost, has become my heart's work. I share my story with them, not to dwell on the pain, but to show them they can rise above it. You are enough, I tell them Ambuya Tariro's words, now my own. Some like Taliwa hold those words tight. Others, like a quiet boy named Simba, need more time. But I don't give up. My encounter with my mother Nyasha at Rengini Market 5 years ago was a turning point. Seeing her worn, regretful, a stranger, freed me. I didn't need her apologies or her love anymore. I walked away from that moment knowing I would build a life stronger than the one she left me to. I haven't heard from her since, and I don't expect to. As for my father Tendai, rumors place him in Johannesburg, or maybe he is back in Mutare. I don't care to find out. The questions that once kept me awake, why did they leave? Was I not enough? No longer have power? I have answered them with my life. I own a small house in Nkulumani now, with a garden that grows spinach, tomatoes and maize. It's modest, but it's mine. A far cry from Ambuya's one-room home with its sleek tin roof. Tete Miriam, now frail, still sharp-tongued, visits often. We sit on the veranda, sipping tea, and talk about the old days in Mzilikazi. She tells me Ambuya would be proud, and I believe her. I have kept Ambuya's old clay pot, the one she used to cook salsa, on a shelf in my kitchen. It's cracked, but I can't let it go. It reminds me of her hands, rough but gentle, pulling me from that doorstep into her arms. Last year, I started a new project at Hope House, a storytelling circle for children. They write or tell stories about their lives, their dreams, their pain. It's not easy for them to open up, but when they do, it's like watching a flower bloom in dry soil. Tadiwa wrote about the day her mother left, how she waited at the hospital gate until dark. Simba, the quiet one, drew a picture of a boy under a baobab tree, alone but looking at the stars. I keep their stories in a box. Each piece is a testament of their strength. I am no teacher, but I know these stories help them heal, just like sharing mine helps me.